Let's pull back the curtain on something that powers almost every app you use, basic math. In this explainer, we're going to demystify the Java math operations that make everything from your favorite games to your online shopping cart actually work. So let's just dive right in.
Seriously, have you ever stopped to think about how a game just knows your score? Or tracks your health points? It feels like magic, but it's not. It's just simple math, baked right into the code. And you're about to see just how easy it is.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with what math even looks like in code. Then we'll cover the core operators you'll use all the time, plus a really cool one called the remainder operator. After that, we'll tackle the order of operations to keep things accurate, and we'll wrap up with some awesome shortcuts.
All right, first up, let's get comfortable with how we do math in our code. And trust me, if you've ever used a calculator, you're already halfway there.
You know the plus, minus, and times buttons on a calculator, right? Well, think of Java's math operators as exactly that. They're just the buttons you press to tell the computer what to calculate. There's no scary, complex new system here. It's just about applying the math you already know in a new place.
Okay, let's get into the operators themselves. These four are the absolute fundamentals, the bread and butter of pretty much any calculation you're ever going to do.
Look how familiar these are. The plus sign for addition, the minus sign for subtraction, no surprises there. The only tiny differences are that we use an asterisk for multiplication and a / for division. But the logic? It's exactly the same. 10 plus 5 is 15. 10 divided by 5 is 2. It's that simple and that predictable.
Now for something that might be new, but it is an absolute secret weapon for programmers. Let's talk about the modulus, or what's better known as the remainder operator. So this percent sign here, it doesn't do percentages. In programming, it has a totally different job. When you use it, you're not asking for the answer to a division problem. You're asking, hey, after you divide these numbers, what's left over? It is all about the remainder.
Let's just walk through a quick example together. Say we have 10% 3. First, you ask yourself, how many whole times can 3 fit into 10? Well, it fits in 3 times, right? That gets us to 9. Then, what's the leftover? You just do 10 minus 9 and you get 1. That's it. That 1 is your answer.
And right about now, you're probably thinking, okay, that's a neat little math trick, but when on earth would I actually use that? Well, it turns out, all the time.
Here's the classic example. Think about it. Any even number divided by 2 has what? A remainder of 0. And any odd number divided by 2 has a remainder of 1. Boom. With just one simple modulus operation, your code can instantly tell if a number is even or odd. This is super useful for stuff like making every other row in a list a different color, or figuring out whose turn it is in a two-player game.
Okay, but what happens when you start mixing these operators together in the same line of code? This is where things can get a little tricky, and it's why understanding the order of operations is absolutely crucial for getting the right answer every single time.
Take a look at this problem, 10 minus 4 divided by 2. If you just read it from left to right, you might think, okay, 10 minus 4 is 6, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. Makes sense. But what if you did the division part first? 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 10 minus 2 is 8. Whoa! Two completely different answers from the exact same problem.
So which one is it? How does Java decide which math to do first so that your code works the same way on every computer every single time?
Well, it uses a rule I bet you've heard of before, probably back in school, PEMDAS. Or maybe you called it, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Java follows this exact order. It does anything in parentheses first, then exponents, then multiplication and division as it finds them from left to right, and finally addition and subtraction, also from left to right. So, going back to our little mystery, the correct answer is 8. Every time. Because in PEMDAS, division comes way before subtraction. So Java calculates 4 divided by 2 first to get 2, and then it subtracts that from 10. No ambiguity, just a consistent, correct answer.
All right, to wrap things up, let's talk about a few shortcuts. Now, you don't have to use these, but they make your code cleaner, shorter, and easier to read, which are all signs of a developer who really knows their stuff.
So instead of writing out the whole phrase, score equals score plus 5, you can just use this nifty shortcut, score equals plus 5. It means the exact same thing. This works for subtraction, multiplication, all of them. And check this out. For something you do all the time, like adding or subtracting just 1, it gets even shorter. Score plus plus just adds 1, and score minus minus subtracts 1. It's a small thing, but it makes your code so much tidier.
So let's do a quick recap. The big takeaways are: 1. Java's math operators are basically what you already know. 2. That modulus operator, the percent sign, is your go-to tool for finding remainders. 3. Java always follows PEMDAS to keep your math straight. And 4. Using shortcuts like plus equals and plus plus will make your code way more efficient.
And that's it. You've now got the fundamental building blocks for doing math in pretty much any program you can dream up. You can manage a game score, you can calculate a shopping cart total, you can analyze data. The possibilities are literally endless. So the only question left is, what will you build first?